I'm Ailsa Holland from Moormaid Press. And yeah, I just want to say welcome to everyone for coming along today to celebrate Rochelle and Bev's wonderful pamphlet, Time Cracks. Some of you, I guess, will own a copy already. For those who don't, I've put a link in the chat in case you want to rectify that. So yeah, I'm the director, editor, etc. of Moormaid Press, a small poetry press based in the northwest of England, in Macclesfield, actually, if anybody's heard of that. Yeah, Moormaid doesn't have a particular style, as I hope you'll see from the poets we've got reading this evening, but we publish diverse textual and visual poetry by brilliant people. So before we start, I want to let everybody know that I'm recording this because hopefully I can then include snippets of the readings on social media, etc. Could everybody, apart from the speakers, please stay on mute? Because otherwise we're going to get life noises interfering. I think there's someone, I'm just looking you up. Yeah, I can't find who it is. Rita, I think you haven't got yourself muted. It would be good if you could. Can't see. Sorry about this. Okay, I'll just keep going. So we're going to hear from two other Moormaid Press poets this evening, as well as from Bev and Rochelle. We're going to hear from Laura Davis and also from Martin Wakefield. Then Bev and Rochelle will read from their pamphlet and maybe a piece from somewhere else. Then we'll all have the chance to ask them questions about Time Cracks or about their process of writing together. And if people put the questions in the chat, I'll do my best to field them. And at the end, we'll hear another short piece from Rochelle and Bev just to close the event off with some poetry. So first, without further ado, because that's enough Zoom ado, let me introduce Laura. Laura Davis is a poet and textile artist based in Belgium. Her recent publications include Found and Lost from Kingston University Press. She will be reading from her forthcoming Moormaid Press pamphlet, Have Needle, Will, which explores the themes of travel, embroidery, and classical myth through page and textile poems. Laura, over to you.
Good evening, everybody, or good morning, wherever you are. And thank you very much, Ailsa, for the introduction, and to Bev and Rochelle for, first of all, fantastic pamphlet. And it's a great privilege to be celebrating and supporting it. I'd like to read 3 short poems from my pamphlet. So the first is called Signs on Leaves, and this is a response to a couple of lines in the 3rd book of the Aeneid. Her visions are clear when she wants to see, still tapestry scenes of all human fates. She captures her wisdom as signs on leaves. The vanishing insects, not just the bees, collateral in Big Pharma's arms race. The data is stark, we just have to see. From cash crops that fail to deserts of wheat, the market, not land or climate, dictates we ignore the wisdom of signs on leaves. The soil is worn out. It needs worms that feed on organic waste, not toxic phosphates. The options are clear when we dare to see. We can feed the hungry, cheaply and well, and root out the greed we've let germinate by learning from wisdom, from signs on leaves. The Sibyl is gone. In Anthropocene, we know we must act. It cannot be too late. The visions are clear when we want to see the wisdom that's captured as signs on leaves. The second poem I'd like to read is called Soroti Oranges, and Soroti is a town in northern Uganda. Harriet gave me the oranges. She found them years ago in Soroti when she worked up country after the war. Alien fruit rotting where they fell. What are they? She asked. Michael shrugged. No good. Round, green and knobbly. Bitter? He nodded. Agronomists lived here, he said, before. Sent improved yield from the colonies. Were they homesick for Surrey? Or needed to hold the line in manners? Tea and sugar we get from plantations. Butter and toast we can sort out for ourselves. Marmalade, though, now that is a challenge. Pineapples, mangoes, and passion fruit are much too sweet from the relentless sun. It's too hot, too wet, too dry for our kind of tree. Trials and errors, and since someone struck gold, grafting scions onto local rootstock. 50 years later, after each harvest, Michael sends sacks to Kampala by bus, 70 kilos of the green-skinned fruit. We chop and simmer and sugar and stir, pips in a pillowcase for pectin. Turn up the heat until the boil rolls. We test the setting point over and over, just as my mother's recipe says, passed from me to her, from me to my son. The recipe is old enough to have graced Soroti breakfast, or been entered in the local show, next to garden flowers and homemade scones, home counties fair competing 100 miles off the equator. Our green oranges yield deep amber jam, tart and delicious in mismatched jars. What kind of trace will we leave when we go? And the last poem is called On Naxos. And actually, I'm in Greece, temporarily, unfortunately. So I wanted to end with this. On Naxos. There was red in the dress I wore when you kissed the king's ring, willing sacrifice for my brother, my father. You caressed my thumb, entwined our fingers, reeled me in, spun my lust. I nicked the silk, pulled, laddered the cloth, wound it to a skein, slipped it in your fist. You went down to the depths. My thread unpicked the maze, led you back to sunlight and your promises. Slashing my ties, bound to each other, we hoisted sails, billowing your glory. There is red on the dress I wear, as your oar splashes dwindle, as I twist in the breeze. Red thread trails you, unseen. Thank you very much.
Thanks so much, Laura. Yeah, I'm really excited about working on Laura's pamphlet at the moment. So keep an eye out for news of that on our Instagram, particularly, and Twitter, if I can bear to go on Twitter, and of course on the website when that comes out very shortly. So now I'd like to introduce Martin. Martin Wakefield is a poet from London. He works mainly in the written, but also in image, sound, and performance. His recent pamphlet from Moormaid Press is called Propositions, Autobiography. And it captures in text and image the essence of his youth in southeast Essex. I'll put a link to it in the chat. Over to you, Martin.
Thanks, Ailsa. Hello, everyone. Congrats to Bev and Rochelle on their pamphlet. It's great work, really moving. Thanks, Ailsa, for publishing my stuff and for organising this evening. And thank you to everyone for coming along. I'm just going to read some text from the aforementioned pamphlet. Ambivalent about the ambivalence toward our neg emote valence. We type, dear ChatGPT, please paint the Mona Lisa, the face of Duchamp. We have elective affinities with us. We are elective affinity. Our thin culture, nothing happens. The author's defaced portraits are digitally refaced by a metaleptical recasting of artificialized autofiction. We are bracketed. We are projection. Dr. Zimmerman percusses our back until we puke unexpectorated phlegm. remove us to ozone-rich shores, shiver up in Ralph toweling, threecept. They would glow, our model, boat to a shelf. We are welcome. Please feel free to ask here to help. Our chest rumbles with hard gunk, shoulders rise to our ears, a recurrent nightmare. Every Sunday fail fearing the week. We meet Murdoch. In the library, she's silently. Her garden darkens down to a littered stream. Mud over our boots sucks us down. The release of the closing blessing, barely sitting, the arithmetic of the hymns. The train carriage smells larkin. We stand at the window. Knocks at the dentist headbutts us in the playground. Nonchalance to our suffering. Holidays at a wheat farm at harvest time. Visits to horse farms. Locked in cars with itchy dogs. Dogs' farms. Our transitional objects are attenuating. Thought shakes us with anxiety, makes us run. Jephthah's daughter is called Diphthong, Judges 11, 29 to 40. We are stuck in birdlime, sticky suck, where prescribed perverts lurk, glutinous sex monsters. The white parade of shops is alien chase. Us from the car, park behind the small market. Let R be the set of all sets that are, we are not. Members of the difference is empty. There's no paradox here. Ours is an impenetrable we. From, exclusive, the outside. The corporeal, the appended, the prosthetic, the floaty-woaty and the wibbly-wobbly. We are almost person. We want to occlude reality via an infinite iris out. We are in outline. We need filling out. We are in and bulk. We are non-associates of a proper group. We exclude ourselves. Airing cover hide. Play with the slow girl from next door. We hide swollen and sweating. From the tip of the fur near the chapel with faith and fear that the lower branches would cushion our landing. They want to play hopscotch. Ironically, we want to fuck La Manga. Malcont neighbours terrify us from closed windows, trimmed sinister bushes. Our bike buckles, but we dream we cannot fly. We levitate. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you so much, Martin. Really lovely. Yeah, and now time for Time Cracks by Beverly Frydman and Rochelle Robshaw. Here it is, for those who haven't seen it yet. I asked them how I should introduce them, and they sent me this. Beverly lives in West London. Rochelle lives in East London. And despite the fact that they hardly ever meet, they manage to communicate every day via email. This is what allows them to call themselves writers. Today is remarkable because they are together in the same room, eating crisps and drinking champagne. So I'm very, very glad to see them in the same Zoom box. I'm very happy to hear about the champagne because this is a real celebration. And I'm going to hand over to them now. We're going to hear a bit from Bev and Rochelle.
Cheers, everybody. Thank you for coming. So we're going to read you a piece from Time Cracks together. And so this is, go ahead.
What? This is
springtime 2022?
Tuesdays.
Yeah,
Yeah.
only Tuesdays. Okay. So March 1st, 8:47. I zip into my boiler suit and my stomach and bum say hello. I can't ignore them.
09:57. I'm in the doghouse and I don't know what I have done. I'm too scared to ask.
March 8th, 8:17. Have I made a mistake? Is that the right question?
21:56. I have made wrong turns because I never really knew how to make the right turns.
March 15th, 12:53. I am a tiger, born in the year of the tiger. I don't feel like a tiger.
15:30. I ran listening to Melvin brag. He slows me down.
March 22nd, 1928. Sarah, the veterinary nurse, says that honeybee will recover from being spayed quickly. She says maybe it's because animals have no emotional attachment to their bits.
2025. I have no emotional attachments to my bits.
March 29th, 2031. I am holding on.
21:42. I ordered shoes, but the global situation has delayed their arrival. Now I feel really bad.
April 5th, 12:43. If I was talking to me, I might ask, have you considered bereavement counseling?
14:22. When I clean things, like really clean things, I want to show my mum. Look, mum, look how I cleaned it. Bit of Ajax stuff and I scrubbed it. Looks nice, doesn't it? I'm pleased with myself. That's what I would say, and she would agree.
April 12th, 1413. I have COVID. It feels like a cold, a sweaty, tiring cold.
1934. I think I ate 2 pork sausages, but Brandon said they were vegetarian.
April 19th, 1430. I feel low, crawl under the bed low. I tell myself it will pass, but it doesn't feel like it.
1705. I don't like people who talk and laugh.
April 26th, 9/11. Talk of nuclear threats, tactical versus strategic. Not sure what it means except afraid.
09:15. I don't want Fred to go to fight in World War III. That worries me this fresh spring morning.
May 3rd, 11:08. Am I still grieving for my brother, my old life? How long can I sink down before I'm sick of it?
14:38. I've fallen asleep in front of my laptop.
May 10th, 1934. I don't know what to do with myself. I don't think anyone can hear me.
20:05. I wonder what I look like because I don't smile at myself in the mirror.
May 17th, 10:34. Roundabouts make me anxious. I never know what I'm doing or where to get off. Just keep going round.
10:45. What was it I should have been? What was it I should have done? Have I forgotten to achieve?
May 24th, 7:52. My back hurts. This morning, I am one of those people who say, oi.
07:58. My bottom hurts.
May 31st, 2037. I watched a documentary about shame. I'm ashamed.
20:46. I worked for 3 hours and then called it a day. I rolled up in the duvet like a caterpillar and watched a documentary about Princess Margaret.
Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to go on to a question and answer section, and then we're going to hear some more poetry from Bev and Rochelle at the end. So I'm going to start this off. but I hope that people will put some questions in the chat, because otherwise it'll just be what I want to know. So I want to ask, why did the two of you decide to write together?
Okay.
Well, Ailsa, we were trying to find a space to write, and we just weren't writing anything. And then one time we were on a trip to Liverpool, and I won't tell you why we were going, but we were going to Liverpool, and we were talking about writing. And I said to Bev, "Why don't you just write to me, and I'll write back." So that's how it started. And at first, it was almost, we went right back to our kind of childhoods and where we grew up and how we grew up. And then the posts became shorter and shorter. And that's how we just kept going from there.
Okay. Mike would like to know, tell us why you went to Liverpool.
Oh.
We won't say much. It was something to do with the makeover.
Yeah.
And we were made over, but really the main thing that we took home with us was our post project.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So the writing was made over, yeah?
Yeah.
Jojo asks, did you agree in advance that you mostly wouldn't directly respond to each other's comments? She says the fragments are amazing.
No, we didn't put any conditions on anything. The only condition we had was that we had to answer each other within 24 hours. And there are many days where we'll have more than one post in 24 hours. And sometimes we do respond to each other, but mostly we don't. And this piece that we read you, for instance, they're not necessarily sequential, even though they might be on the same day. These, sometimes we mix them up, and in other pieces we don't really put in the times at all, and we just mix everything up, a kind of like a collage.
But what we write every day is within one day. So we write every day, but sometimes we have started, as we've got bolder, to curate the pieces a bit more. So we feel that because they're ours, we can kind of mold them into other things. But they are actually all kind of posts from certain days, from days.
Okay.
And it's now,
Yeah.
because we started in May 2015.
Amazing.
Eating a lot of things. We actually haven't really moved on. We say the same things every single day. Well, not every single day, but probably every single year.
Well, that's really interesting, isn't it? About how things repeat, or how we see seasons in our work, right? So I've got two questions that are kind of linked. So Will asks, you've been collecting and generating this material for a few years now, which means you have a lot of material. Do you have a plan for what you will do next? And Jules is asking, will you do a volume 2?
Well,
we have lots. Well, I have lots of fantasies. So so I would like an art installation. What else have we talked about?
Music. We'd
Yeah.
like to put it to music. We'd like to sing it.
Yeah, we'd like.
No, we don't want to sing it. We don't want to sing it.
Somebody else sing it.
Someone else sing it.
Right.
But we'd like to have. There's some stuff with sound, and we thought it might work with sound. We, just I don't know quite how that would work, but sound, and Bev's always talked about. I feel like we're one of those twins who answer each other.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like those with art, we'd like to do something with art and words, and putting the words on art. I don't know.
We are in tentative discussion with the great textile artist and poet named Laura Davis, and I also have visions of. My vision is that the words roll down the wall. That's my vision.
Yeah,
But
it's a good
I
one.
have a lot of visions, but
Yeah.
I don't know how to do them. So anyway, if anybody does, please let us know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Will has got a point, because we do have a lot of material sort of kept in our laptops. So, you know, sometimes a thread will be so long that it just appears as like single words all down the page, which is quite annoying, really, if you want to kind of mess with it. But on another time, actually, it just becomes single words that,
Or letters.
letters, actually not words, just letters. It just goes down to streams of letters,
Yeah.
which is weird.
Yeah.
Okay, lovely. I love Rena's comment here that she could not stop laughing long enough to think of a question, which I think is really good. And Shika says, I love this project. Why Tuesdays? Did you find that you wrote more often on Tuesdays or more interesting things?
Tuesdays came because when our first piece that we did was on a Tuesday. And the reason we chose Tuesday was initially I thought Tuesday is the worst day, because I thought Monday you have no expectation. Wednesday you're halfway through the week. Thursday, tomorrow's Friday. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, weekend. So poor Tuesday has nothing going for it. So that's why we chose Tuesday, because it's a poor little day. But actually, right now, I kind of like Tuesdays. Yeah.
It was a way of cutting up the work. It could have been spring, it could have been summer. We played with like one day, you know, it could have been like it could have been any day, but it just fell to Tuesday.
Yeah.
Okay. Lovely, thank you. I mean, I like that now what Tuesday has going for it is that your poems, right? So you've given it something.
Yes.
Almost really in response to your comment about you feel like twins are replying, you know, for each other. Susan's asking, were you reading your own posts just now, or were you mixing them up?
No, these were our own posts.
Okay.
That's probably on me dictating that, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah. Sometimes we mix them up.
Sometimes. So I'd say for the most part we read our own posts, but sometimes I'll look at something and I really don't know who's written it. I don't know if it's hers or mine. I don't know.
Yeah, that's kind of the best, isn't it?
Yeah.
Those are the best ones. Yeah.
Lovely. Miranda is asking, how does it feel making such personal insights public? How do you separate your ego from the public reading?
Is that Miranda, my daughter?
I think so.
Yes.
Well, she's lucky she's not in any of them. She's on this occasion. What was the question?
How does it feel making personal insights public?
Good. It's good. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it is a good question. And actually we did think about it when we do put them together, we really do think about it. And some things are very personal, and not to say that they involve anybody else, but they can be very personal. And we are really careful with each other and ourselves of what we choose to reveal publicly. But there is that thing of making something, and then it is something that's not you as well. It is us, but it's not us. It's kind of both. Yeah.
I feel less bothered about making certain feelings about certain people public. I think you might.
So bold.
Yeah, I think you might be more cautious.
We'll just do a couple more questions. What have you learned about each other from this project?
That's a very nice question. I don't know if I can answer it completely, but I think working in a collaboration like this has been so wonderful. We are so a part of each other's lives, and it's a very wonderful and also peculiar relationship, because we don't see each other very much, and yet we know each other intimately in a very specific way. And to say that when we post very personal things that, and let's say I post something that might be a bit concerning, Rochelle would never put in that work are you okay? You know, something like that. That would never go in the work. That might go in a text outside the work. But it never goes in the work because those things they stand on their own. Would you agree?
Yeah, yes, I think we try to keep the sort of call and response. We don't do a call and response, so it's very much we are in our moment in our life somewhere else when we write back. But I do think what's been special about it is just knowing somebody else's life who you wouldn't know, and just seeing that their concerns, their worries, their anxieties, their fears, their joys, their grief in a very particular way, and to be able to observe that makes Bev's taught me an awful lot about things, and I think that's been a pleasure.
And also sometimes very difficult things go in this work before they go anywhere else. I mean, which is really, I mean, again, peculiar and wonderful because, you know, so yeah.
Okay, I'm going to do one last question. There's so many lovely comments. I'm going to try and work out how to save the chat so you can see that later. People are suggesting, yeah, more volumes, make a film, wrap it. I would love to see that.
So yes to all of it, but we need a rapper and a
Yeah.
filmmaker.
Yeah. And I want to know who's playing me.
Now I've lost the question. Oh yes, are your interchanges, are your messages always so brief? Or are they longer things that are cut down to make the poetry?
They're usually not longer than a kind of a paragraph, not normally longer than 10 lines.
And usually shorter than that.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're mainly a couple of sentences, 2 or 3
Yeah.
sentences, and and some of these we cut down, but not most of them really. We might take a sentence out, you know, but they're generally pretty short.
Yeah, just those, so they're all real fragments, real moments.
Yeah.
Of the day. Yeah, yeah, brilliant. Okay, well, everybody wants to hear more, so read us lots more,
Okay.
and then we'll come back to say bye-bye at the end. Okay.
Okay.
So what we've got now is one piece from one day, which is on the 12th of May 2021.
6:47 a.m. Lie in bed, light through cracking curtains. Should I get up? Is it worth it?
7:06. I can't get up. The bin men are coming down the road. Why is that still always exciting?
7:21. I realize that the fashion pages teach me nothing.
7:53. I scroll through shoes, imagining my feet in them. I keep scrolling.
8 a.m. Another pair of Birkenstocks? Really?
8:53. Switching it on, my heart sinks.
8:55. Another walk. Macy and Kate. The sun is out at the moment. The scrubs are calling. I'll put on lip gloss.
9:17. I can't walk the dog yet as I have to check a venue survey, sign it, date it, and send it on to someone else to sign and date it.
10:49. Please renew my permit. Please, please.
11:48. I don't like people who do administration.
1:07 p.m. Coffee, chocolate, coffee, milk chocolate dipped in coffee, melted milk chocolate, coffee, lunch.
1:38. Pasta with harissa out of a jar. Quite horrible.
2:24. Nectarine so ripe, it's almost on the turn. I'm on the turn.
2:45. Dried up orange. It's like eating paper.
2:46. I thought they were coming for brunch, for lunch, and I bought too much orange juice, and somehow this is tragic.
3:31. I miss my mum.
3:34. I've been holding myself together for so long, wrapped in plastic.
4:12. My nails look terrible.
4:29. I need salad.
5:05. I need wine.
5:06. Kate's cooking dinner.
6:55. Drinking wine. I shouldn't, as I have the study group at 7:30.
6:56. Watching Sex and the City with Kate and Macy.
7:01. Brandon has put on Beethoven. I thought it was Tchaikovsky. Silly me.
7:03. Macy needs a haircut. Her eyes are disappearing.
7:42. Hi, I'm Rochelle. She, her pronouns. In Walthamstow. No good news.
7:49 p.m. How many times can I say no?
10:43. I doze watching Nuts in May. Brandon eating a sausage wakes me.
10:44. Michael snores on the couch downstairs. Macy snores upstairs in our bed. Earplugs can't save me.
11:09. The dog runs downstairs because dogs bark outside. Brandon sits watching the end of the film. I sit in bed and Google women's prayer groups.
11:34 p.m. I doze to a podcast, an interview with an actress I like. I fall asleep in minutes. It's a compliment, really.
It's so brilliant. Can we ask you to read one more?
Yeah, this is how I see us at some point in a future that will not happen. This is our epilogue. This was from Time Cracks, 8th of May 2019, 7:30. My next guests are two writers who have been involved in an extraordinary writing project which has spanned over 10 years. Beverly and Rochelle, how did your book get started? And can I just say, you both look fabulous tonight.
Well, thank you, Oprah. Well, that's it.
Thank you so much. I'm sure you're seeing all the comments here in the chat. Earplugs can't save me. This is a t-shirt. I think that is a t-shirt. Yeah, that was just brilliant. I think everybody would like to hear another one. If you have another one that you could read. Yeah? Something else from the pamphlet or just something you love? I wanted to ask actually another question. That's a bit cheeky now, but I'm just going to do it. Is whether you see yourselves ever finishing this project, or is this just your life now? Is this just so much part of your life that...
Yeah, I wouldn't like, yeah, I think I'd be at a loss if I finished it.
Same.
Yeah.
I don't see it finishing.
Yeah.
It just goes on.
It'll be, I'm dying, Bev.
I love that. Okay, yeah. Read us another one.
Okay, so we're going to read. That is so funny. We're going to read Christmas from Time Cracks, Christmas 2019. I think you start. Okay.
December 24th, 07:54. Actually, I would really like to be a backing singer.
12:42. There is honor in being a backing singer.
December 25th, 01:30. I have to be Father Christmas now, for fuck's sake.
17:45. Lots of cheese.
December 26th, 9:10. I need a crumpet.
12:45. Soup. Give me vegetable soup.
December 27th, 13:38. I had to go to Sainsbury's because we have no food. They are all eating it.
13:56. I keep going to M&S. The fridge is always empty.
December 28th, 10:53. Vest, nightdress, dressing gown, shawl, socks, my night attire.
20:57. Fill dishwasher, empty dishwasher, gin and tonic, bite my nails, begin again.
December 29th, 10:21. I cry walking around Sainsbury's.
11:14. I hate the crying. I really hate it.
December 30th, 07:30. I am a failure and I don't even know what in.
8:06. I ate the last walnut whip. I ate all of them, all three.
December 31st, 1841. I watched The Two Popes. Now it's a film about a couple who shrink. I will suck a strepsil.
1929. It finally happened. Macy got under my feet when I was running. I came down flat on my face, skinned knees, aching bones. Oi.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Bev and Rochelle, and thank you, Martin, and thank you, Laura. This has been fantastic. This has been the first Moormaid Press online event, but I think we definitely need to do more. And I hope everyone will keep an eye on what we're publishing, obviously by all the pamphlets so far. And yeah, it's just been brilliant. And thank you so much.
Can I just say thank you, Ailsa? This was so brilliant, and it was so brilliant to work with you. And thank you to Laura and Martin, and thank you to all of our friends and family who came today. It was so lovely to see everyone.
Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And we're now going to carry on drinking champagne, eating crisps, and maybe have a bit of dinner.
And maybe a walnut whip.
And maybe a walnut whip. Yeah. Thank you, everybody.
Brilliant. Thank you. Good night, everyone.